Hi friends. Today we will look into the basic working principle of a refrigerator. Welcome to yet another exciting episode. Today most of us have a refrigerator at our home. Refrigerator is one invention that has certainly changed the way we live. It has made it possible for everyone to preserve food for days together. The cold temperature inside the refrigerator slows down the bacterial growth in food and thus preserves the food for longer. But how exactly does the inside of the refrigerator remain cold? The principle on how does a refrigerator work is pretty simple. Gases get hotter when you compress them into less volume because you have to work to push their energetic molecules together. When you expand a gas, it is suddenly able to occupy much more volume. The heat energy its molecules contain is now divided over a much bigger volume of space, so the temperature of the gas falls, that is, it gets cooler. The other principle at work in a refrigerator is that when you have two things that are different temperatures that touch or are near each other, the hotter surface cools and the colder surface warms up. This is a law of physics called the second law of thermodynamics. A special gas called the refrigerant is used in the vapor compression cycle of a refrigerator. It used to be CFC, chlorofluorocarbon. But due to environmental concerns with CFC, namely, the depletion of ozone layer, the gas used nowadays is HFC-134a, also called tetrafluoroethane. The refrigerant passes through the various components of the refrigeration cycle listed in the figures. Vapor compression cycle or refrigeration cycle. In this cycle or process, here is how the components of the refrigeration cycle interact to cool your food. The compressor constricts or compress the refrigerant vapor coming from the refrigerator, raising its pressure and temperature, and pushes it into the coils of the condenser on the outside of the refrigerator. As mentioned above, compression causes temperature rise of the refrigerant. When the hot gas in the coils of the condenser meets the cooler air temperature of the kitchen, it becomes a liquid. Now in liquid form at high pressure, the refrigerant cools down as it flows through the expansion valve into the evaporator coils inside the freezer and the fridge. The refrigerant absorbs the heat inside the fridge when it flows through the evaporator coils, cooling down the air inside the fridge. Last, the refrigerant evaporates to a gas due to raised temperature, and then flows back to the compressor, where the cycle starts all over again. The main component of a refrigerator that needs power is the compressor. It is essentially a pump which is driven by a motor. The hum you hear when the fridge is on is that of the compressor working. The thermostat controls the temperature of the fridge by switching on and off the compressor. This is a schematic drawing of a vapor compression refrigeration cycle. The entire cycle can be divided into 4 stages. Stage 1, compressing the vapor coming from the evaporator inside the refrigerator after absorbing heat from inside. In this stage a compressor compresses this low pressure high volume vapor to a high pressure high temperature low volume vapor. Compressor needs electrical energy input for this. Stage 2, passing the high pressure vapor through the condenser tubes outside the refrigerator. During this process, the high pressure vapor rejects heat to atmosphere, cools down and turns to liquid. Stage 3, thermal expansion. During this process, the high pressure liquid refrigerant from the condenser expand to a low pressure low temperature vapor. Stage 4, heat absorption from inside the refrigerator. Here, the cool vapor refrigerant flowing through the evaporator absorbs heat from inner side of the refrigerator and makes it cool. Hope you have understood the basic principle of working of a refrigerator. See you with another video. Bye. Thank you.